Alright, and we're back. Today we're going to be learning exponents, and I'm going to start off with a very simple and important question for everybody involved here. What is multiplication? Think about it. Okay, you've thought about it. Multiplication is repetitive addition. What does 3 times 4 mean? Well, we know it's 12, but what is it? It means 3 added together 4 times. Okay? So that's what multiplication means, repetitive addition. So, what exponents means, it's just like another level up. It means repetitive multiplication. 3 times 3, 4 times, right? 9 times 9 is 81, right? And that's what an exponent is. Alright, so now that we've discussed what the actual exponent is, we are going to talk about some very important exponent rules that you just kind of have to know. Alright, you have to know them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just got to memorize these. So, here we go. And there you have it. So those are the exponent rules that you have to memorize. Let's go over them real quick. When you multiply two things together that have the same base, you add the exponents. 2 plus 3 is 5. When you take one thing to a higher power, you multiply the exponents. When you divide two things with the same base, x and x, you subtract the exponents. 5 minus 2 is 3. When you have a negative exponent, remember, it just means put it underneath the fraction and make it positive. Boom. When you have a fractional exponent, the bottom number goes outside the root, the top number goes inside the root on the x. And finally, anything to the power of 0 equals 1. So, like I said, those are the rules. Write them down, memorize them. No excuses, you just have to know them. Alright, so that's basically it for exponents, okay? So all we have to do now is, well, there's one more thing I just remembered. God, how could I forget? It's so important. Adding exponents. So, if I have, for example, x squared plus x squared, well, that's equal to 2x squared. Because when I think of adding, I don't know about you, but when I think of adding, I think of apples. And when I think of apples, I think of Granny Smith apples, which just happen to be my favorite apples. So I'm going to just draw a little green Granny Smith here to remind us that apple plus apple equals 2 apples, right? But if you have an apple, x squared, plus an orange, x to the third, you can't do anything to it. It just stays what it is, right? Or if you have an apple, x squared, plus a different kind, maybe a tomato, y squared, again, you can't combine those things. It's just x squared plus y squared. So remember, when you're adding, think of apples. And the rules are a little bit tighter on what you're allowed to add and what you're not allowed to add. Alright, moving on. Let's practice some stuff here. Alright, I'm going to draw things on the board. And you can pause the video at any point and do these. Alright? X squared times 2x squared equals, I'll do 4 at a time, 2a times 2b equals x squared plus 2x squared equals and x third plus 2x squared equals. Pause your video. Okay, welcome back. So let's go over these. X squared times 2x squared, since we're multiplying, it would be 2x to the fourth. We add exponents when we multiply. 2 times 2, since we're multiplying and it's the same base, it just becomes 2 to the a plus b. We add exponents. X squared plus 2x squared, apples, adding apples, is 3x squared. And then x third plus 2x squared, we're adding an apple plus an orange. It's just the same. We can't do anything to it. All right? Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. I still have that song in my head. Do you? All right. A few more. 3 to the fourth times 2 squared equals what? 3 to the fourth plus 2 squared equals what? 3 to the fourth times 3 squared equals what? And then 3x to the negative 2 equals what? Pause. Okay? 3 to the fourth times 2 squared. These are two different bases, so we really can't do anything except just draw them out. That's 81 times 4, which is 300 what? 324? I think so. 3 to the fourth plus, since we're adding, we have to have apples and apples. We don't. So again, it's just 81 plus 4, which is 85. We can't do any shortcuts there. Multiplying, same base, becomes 3 to the 6, which is, use your calculator. And then 3x to the negative 2, recall, means 3 over x to the positive 2. So there's that. Boom. Spray it with a little Windex. Windex always takes care of exponents. And then finally, the last thing, you kind of have to know how to play this game. 2x squared, y third, and then let's throw that whole thing to the fourth power. Pause. Alright, you're welcome back. We basically have to use distributive property. 2 to the fourth is 16. X squared to the fourth power, remember we multiply, x to the eighth. Y to the third to the fourth power, we multiply y to the 12th. And that's basically exponents. Alright, exponents show up a lot on both the SAT and the ACT. You must know those exponent rules that I wrote down while I was dancing to that song. Alright? I hope you enjoyed exponents.